It's just been announced that Mike McDaniel, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, has just been fired. Now, I'm here to tell you why the Commanders need to waste no time in signing him as our offensive coordinator. I'm going to tell you all about why. So stick with me and let's get into it. So there are many reasons we should hire Mike McDaniel as the next offensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders. And number one, and of course it always starts with this guy, Jaden Daniels. The potential with Jaden Daniels and a Mike McDaniels pairing is through the roof. That is something that I can just get so excited for. I can't even explain it. All you have to do is just look at Tua through the years. When Tua first got into the league his rookie season, he had Brian Flores as his head coach. And as many people know and remember, Brian Flores was not very fond of Tua. Tua has even been on record saying that Brian Flores has told him to his face, "You do not belong in the NFL," multiple times, to his first round rookie quarterback. And for your head coach to look your first round draft picked rookie quarterback in his eyes and tell him numerous times, "You do not belong in the NFL," I think that speaks volumes of what Tua was showing at that time. It speaks volumes where he was at that point. Because first, let's stay in 2020 where the year was shaky. He had 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. But what really sticks out about that is when the fourth quarter came and it was time to be clutch, the Miami Dolphins infamously took Tua out during the fourth quarter when you want the ball in your best player's hands and put Ryan Fitzpatrick in, the journeyman quarterback that has been on just about every team. That's crazy. And I remember when it happened, I'm thinking, how bad is this guy that you're trying to nurture him and see what he can do, but when it counts the most, you take him out? That's who Mike McDaniel was dealing with. And then the next season wasn't much better. 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Shaky, maybe a little bit there, but it's hard to really see any potential with that, especially with what happened in the rookie season, followed by what his own head coach has said. But when Mike McDaniel got there, everything changed. He went from those pedestrian numbers to, in 2022, he threw for 25 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, leading the Miami Dolphins to a playoff game. Yes, the Miami Dolphins went to a playoff game as soon as Mike McDaniel got there, and a lot of it was due to the maturation of Tua Tagovailoa. Even in the following years, 2023, 29 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 2024, 19 interceptions. And you have to remember, though, Tua has had a lot of head injuries, so those numbers have gone down a little bit, but he was missing a lot of games. And his play's gone down, and I think it's safe to say concussions have a lot to do with that. But my point in saying that is Mike McDaniel's work with Tua, and if he could do that with Tua and make him, at the time, the third highest paid quarterback of all time. Tua went from his head coach telling him you don't belong to his next head coach making him the third highest paid quarterback of all time. Still number 6 today, which is crazy. Crazy to see what they're paying him and what he's putting out on the field. So if Mike McDaniel can do that with Tua, imagine with what he can do with Jaden Daniels, who just had the greatest rookie season of all time. With Jaden Daniels, who's not a stationary quarterback and can run and make people miss and has the great accuracy to go with that. I think if these two get together, it's going to be a blissful marriage, and I think we'll see parts of JD's game that we haven't even seen. So much untapped potential. The next reason the Commanders need to waste zero time signing Mike McDaniel is because he sticks to the run game. Mike McDaniel runs the ball, believe it or not. A lot of people think he's all finesse, just throw it down there, Tyreek somewhere, but he has a running back in that backfield named Devon Achane. And Devon Achane just ran for 1,350 yards, averaging 5.7 yards per carry. That's a first down every 2 times he runs the ball. That's crazy. 5.7 yards per carry. And even in the previous 2 years, he was doing great. If you look back to Achane's rookie season, where he averaged nearly 8 yards per carry, 800 yards until an injury took him out. But what that tells me is not only he will run the ball and give his running backs an opportunity, but he knows how to create space. Mike McDaniels runs a zone scheme. He comes from that Shanahan coaching tree, so you know what that means. Zone. He's going to find ways to get his backs into the open field, outside, make them make the plays, and he also adds counters in there as well. What I really love is the zone goes hand in hand with Bill Krosky-Merritt. Bill is a guy with great cuts, as we've talked about before. When he puts his foot in that ground, especially on a play like outside zone, that's when he's most dangerous. That's when he can make guys miss, and that's when he can really show his ability. So I think Mike McDaniels paired with Bill in the offensive line that we have and can continue to work with, I think it could be very dangerous. And that's also what was a point of contention and why the parting with Cliff Kingsbury happened. He didn't run the ball enough. Dan Quinn wants to run the ball more. He's a defense-oriented coach, old school smash mouth. He wants to run the ball, and that's exactly what Mike McDaniels will do. And the third thing Mike McDaniels will do for this offense is he will make big plays for our receivers, especially Terry McLaurin. It makes me so excited to even think of a great offensive coordinator paired with Terry. We saw what he did with Cliff. 1,100 yards last season, 13 touchdowns. And I think Mike McDaniels is an upgrade because you look at the receivers he's had and what he's done with them. Tyreek Hill, 1,700 yards, 2 times in 2 years. And one of those, when he had 1,799 yards in 2023, that was the 7th most receiving yards of all time. And what's more impressive about that is Tyreek Hill was great in Kansas City, but he reached another level of elite in Miami. He was getting around 1,200 yards his final 2 seasons in Kansas City, but as soon as he came into the Dolphins, 1,700 back-to-back. Now, the past couple of years have been rough because injury, but you could just see when he has explosiveness and he has players, he can make them open. Along with Tyreek Hill, you also have Jalen Waddle, who goes over 1,000 yards consistently as well. 1,300 yards a year, Tyreek went for 1,700. That means he schemes his guys open. What Mike McDaniel does, he uses a lot of motion to not only confuse the defense, but give his receivers an advantage. He likes to run them in motion and have the DBs follow them. And you know when you have speed guys like Tyreek, if you already give them a head start, that's not even fair. It's also what you see the Chiefs do sometimes, as they did it in the Super Bowl against the Eagles on the game-winning touchdown. That's Mike McDaniels. That's his thing. So I'm excited to see what we can do with Terry, a guy who has immense ability and still great speed at his age. And what else we can do with other guys we bring in, whether we keep Debo or not. Even if we do keep Debo, he could do a lot of things with him. I think more than Cliff Kingsbury, who all he did was screens. That's all he did. So that just shows the lack of creativity there. And I'm just excited about the creativity that can come with Mike McDaniels. So tell me, what do you think about the Mike McDaniels hiring? Would you hire him? And if not, who would you like to see as Commanders' next offensive coordinator? That's all I got for you today. So I'll see you next time. Take care.